The Auxiliary of St. Mary's Hospital was established in 1924 as a support system for the newly opened hospital in the Shaughnessy House on Dorchester Street. Lady Margaret Hingston was voted the first president of the Auxiliary. She was 81 years of age. She espoused all that St. Mary's aspired to be and who we would continue to be today.
She grew up in a very wealthy family. Her mother died when she was 14, and she suddenly had to become chatelaine of the house. She was certainly not a woman to say no to. She knew her way around the social circles. She knew almost everybody, and she could count on the support of almost everybody.
At the age of 26, Margaret married the mayor of Montreal, William Hingston, who was almost 20 years her elder. Dr. Hingston was also a pioneering surgeon, president of a bank. He would go on to serve as a senator in Ottawa and be made a knight by Queen Victoria. Together they had 5 children. Their second son, Donald, like his father, would become a distinguished member of the medical community, and he was the visionary who founded St. Mary's Hospital.
Donald Hingston then starts this present St. Mary's Hospital. His mother was certainly an avid supporter of the hospital and of Donald. And when the Ladies' Auxiliary was started, she was the figurehead. She certainly set up the conditions and the rules. And Lady Hingston, I know, was involved in homeless shelters. She was involved in looking after children that in those days were considered to be born out of wedlock, mothers, you name it. She certainly threw her weight behind these charitable institutions.
From the very beginning, the St. Mary's Hospital Auxiliary possessed a spirit of cooperation. Lady Hingston insisted the membership be open to women from every parish and not restricted to women of means. It would prove to be an essential support system for the hospital, raising money at socials, dances, and bazaars. Its first elected executive included 30 members whose job was to raise funds for linens, blankets, and surgical dressings. Over the years, thousands of women and some men would continue the movement, donating thousands of hours and raising millions of dollars for St. Mary's Hospital Centre. The Auxiliary has purchased equipment, funded research, refurbished departments, and made our patients feel welcome. Without the Auxiliary, St. Mary's Hospital would not have existed. In 1936, one of Donald and Lillian Hingston's 5 daughters, Catherine, created an offshoot of the Auxiliary and founded the Maternity Committee. Thought to be young socialites, its members raised thousands of dollars through various initiatives like rummage sales, social teas, and gatherings. In 1941, they bought their first gold book and started enrolling the names of babies born in the hospital. The Maternity Committee also made a journal available for fathers who sat and waited while their wives were in the delivery room.
I've sat here day and night, worrying over the facts of life. Picked this book, wrote down my thoughts, relived my mind about what I got. If you feel the same and want to write, put down your thoughts in this book tonight.
Over the years, the Auxiliary has taken large strides to assist new mothers and welcome newborns. Today, newborn babies are still swaddled in layettes hand-knit by dedicated volunteers.
So behind me is our crafts group, and they have been with us forever. They're part of the Auxiliary. They knit and they sew. Their products are sold in the gift shop and at the Jingle Bell Fair, and also they have their own little sales at times. So they make booties, and they make little hats and little sweaters and little mittens, and they make blankets for babies' beds. They also, one of the most important projects that they have is that they knit for stillborns. This crafts group has a wonderful ambiance. They meet, they have lunch, they chat, they talk, they exchange. Many of them, they also have knitters who are knitting at home in the community who bring in their knitted pieces. Exquisite, exquisite work that they do, and we're incredibly blessed to have them. We're one of the only hospitals that does.
St. Mary's Ball is one of the most sought-after and important fundraising events in the city, drawing corporate and community leaders year after year. In the early days, the ball provided a platform to introduce young girls as debutantes into society.
And there were a lot of girls in those days that had parents involved with St. Mary's, and of course if one friend goes, the other one wants to go, so we all were a gang going together. We were about 18 debutantes. It was in 1984. I loved dancing with my father, so I was really proud to be with him and to have that first dance. And in the beginning, when I started with my father, that was the first year I started doing the decorations. We were actually making the decor because the budget was very small. It was more of a family ball. It was really hands-on.
The St. Mary's Ball has welcomed many elite guests, including diplomats, politicians, movie stars, and other distinguished members of society.
I think it's a very important event. It's for the Montreal community at large. It's one of those events that you look forward to. It's a celebration, and at the same time it's a big fundraiser for St. Mary's Hospital. Believe it or not, I have never missed one St. Mary's Ball since the age of 17, and I'm now going to be 47.
Over the years, various auxiliary projects have changed along with the times, but there are 3 large financial initiatives that have knitted themselves into the fabric of the hospital: the coffee shop, the book corner, and the gift shop.
But the gift shop, as it is, started in 1960 with 44 volunteers.
Whether delivering compassion at a bedside, providing sanctuary in the book corner, or offering a thoughtful selection of gifts in the shop, members of the auxiliary have never lost sight of their pledge to humanity by wearing the blue smock.
People who have been here 30, 40 years, and I'm not talking about 1 or 2, we're talking about quite a few people. They spend their life here.
A far cry from the humble beginning on a card table in a hallway, today the auxiliary book corner offers a sense of sanctuary in a large corner of the busy hospital lobby. People look for bargains. Patients, visitors, and staff love to browse through the collection.
First of all, they had a little table in the corridor down the hall, and then there's an old storeroom down on the 2nd level, and she would take her books down there, lock them up, and then bring them back up the next day, and it was just like a little school desk around the corner where she first started to sell the books, and then it grew into a book corner.
The spirit of Christian charity is deep-rooted in the heart of each member of the Auxiliary of St. Mary's. Every patient of the hospital can attest to the kindness and warm-hearted assistance rendered by its members. Today we celebrate the 90th anniversary of the Auxiliary by extending our appreciation, our sincerest sentiments, and our warmest personal wishes to you.